Chris Cuomo here, of course. Welcome to NewsNation. Right and left come here to be reasonable. So, Garcia is being brought back from El Salvador. Did due process win the day? Is that what this is? Bringing Garcia back from El Salvador as ordered by the Supreme Court. So the administration was supposed to do this, but only to face charges from a car stop a few years ago that authorities passed over at the time. So is this justice, as the Attorney General said? Or is this really about just us, meaning the administration placating the MAGA folk, the people they've conditioned to believe that illegal entrants are enemy number one? One is too many. Lake and Riley. If you are worried about homicides in America, illegal entrants are not the group committing the most. Not even close. Now you can say, well, but one is too many because they shouldn't even be here. I find that to be an absurd standard. And if you're going to care about things on that basis, there are a lot of problems that you should be given a lot more attention to because one is too many of them as well. But we don't. Why? Politics. That is the context for the Garcia situation, okay? Trump wants this issue because it works for him. And let's be honest, common sense dictates that it works for you. You're not supposed to be in the country. You're doing something bad. Who let you in? The Democrats, with lax policies, they suck. It's the end of the analysis these days. So, what is going to happen to Garcia? And what does it mean for the overall picture? Again, the Supreme Court ordered the administration to facilitate the return. They did. Now they're charging him. I didn't think that these two federal counts of transporting illegal immigrants through the United States, I didn't think this was going to be their route. And I don't think it's their best route. But the Attorney General disagrees with me and says Garcia is not just a gangbanger. He's a murderer and a pedophile. Here's a taste.
The grand jury found that over the past 9 years, Abrego Garcia has played a significant role in an alien smuggling ring. They found this was his full-time job, not a contractor. He was a smuggler of humans and children and women. A co-conspirator alleged that the defendant solicited nude photographs and videos of a minor. A co-conspirator also alleges the defendant played a role in the murder of a rival gang member's mother.
It's weird that Bondi mentions those things, which are the most, the most upsetting of the allegations, because he's not charged with any of that. So why even mention it? Because this is about politics, not just law. And look, Garcia, as I've said here many times, sizes up as a bad guy. Doesn't mean that he's a criminal, doesn't mean he's not supposed to be here because of the order. But these charges stem from this 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. Local cops pulled him over with several other migrants in the car. They suspected he was a human trafficker, given that none of the migrants had luggage. They called the FBI. The FBI took a pass, said let them off with a warning. U.S. officials say that if he's convicted, he's going to serve his sentence here and then be deported back to El Salvador. But there are still issues with the plan, since he would still need to go before an immigration judge to allow the government to deport him to El Salvador. And you see, that, to me, was the straightest line analysis here. Bring him back from El Salvador, respect due process by challenging the stay of the removal order. Remember what this is about. Garcia was denied asylum. Garcia was told to leave. Garcia then had that order stayed by a different judge who said, well, I think he has a reasonable fear of return because of this gang that wants to kill him. But that gang is no longer, according to authorities there and here, the threat that it was. So why not just argue that the order no longer holds and deport him that way? Why go this way? I think it's because it's important to the Trump administration to paint this guy as a bad guy. And they may be right. But it's also about politics, which is why we now learn that a top DOJ official in Nashville resigned over the decision to pursue human trafficking charges against Garcia. So the question is, what is this really about? And why not do what I was saying? Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.